Welcome to crackIT. Today we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic of Java 8 features, and that's streams. We will understand streams through examples and explanations. Also, we will discuss about the interview questions that are very popular in streams. Let's start the discussion. What is streams? Streams is used to process the collections. So, streams are used to process the collections. Here, this is a collection. For me, this is a list. And if I give dot stream, that will produce stream for me. This stream will be used to process the collections, and this stream is a sequence of objects. So sequence of objects that is created from this collection, and this stream supports various methods like filter and map, and these methods can be pipelined, that is can be processed one after the other. So in this example, if we see, if I have a collection with 5 elements and that has null, I am trying to filter the null, only the non-null elements. And if you see here, I have non-null elements here, and with this non-null elements I am processing my next step. So this is the pipelining of operations, and one operation can be processed after the other to produce the expected output. Stream is not a data structure and it won't change the original data structure. What does that mean? Here, if we see, my original collection list elements have values 4, 2, 3, 1 and null, and my final this thing has 1, 9, 4 and 19. If I try to print my list, say this is the list 1, at the end of after all this processing, what will happen? It will still print this 4, 2, 3, 1 only. Why? Because streams will not change the original data structure. Instead, it will just process the elements and produces the result based on the intermediate operations. And here, if you see, we are collecting this stream of elements into the list, and if we assign this to a list variable, then that list will have this 1, 9, 4 and 19, but this original data structure will remain same. Also, streams are lazy, and the computation of the source data is only performed when the terminal operation is initiated. So, we will see this point later in the slide when we discuss about intermediate operations and the terminal operations. What are intermediate operations? Here, if we see, the intermediate operations are filter, map and sorted. So, intermediate operations is lazily executed and returns a stream as a result. Okay, so these are the intermediate operations, and the result of all these operations, filter, map and sorted, are again streams. Only if these are streams, then only we will be able to process for the second time and the third time, meaning we will be able to pipeline the operations. Intermediate operations can be chained together, and these are called chaining. If you see here, we are chaining the intermediate operations here, and this enables the filtering concept wherein one method filters data and passes it on to the other method. So if we see here, this filter intermediate operation performs its operation and provides its output to this stream, and again this map performs what it needs to do and provides its output to this stream sorted, and again sorted will perform its operation and it will provide to the next stream. So this is called enabling the filtering concept wherein one method filters data and passes it on to the other method. One method passes its data to the another method. Intermediate operations are lazily executed. What does that mean? We will try to understand this using an example. So in our example, we have a list of strings and we are converting this strings to a stream using dot stream method. Again, we are performing a filter operation and peek. What is filter? Filter will filter the data based on the predicate that we sent. What is the predicate? It will check whether the string is starting with C or not. If it starts with C, it will filter those elements. And what will peek do? It will just accepts a consumer. So it is nothing but we are giving a system.out.println. So let's see what is happening. Let's see whether the stream is printing elements or not. What is happening? So if I run the program, I can see that this system.out.println is not executed now. Why it is not executed? Let's see. Let me uncomment this piece of code which has the stream.collect collectors.toList of. Here this collect is a terminal operation. So Let's try to run this program now. If you see here, these first two, these are the outputs of peak, and these two, this is the element of the filtered list. How is it printing now? This peak, why is it printing now? It is because only if the terminal operation is there in the stream, then only the stream will perform all these intermediate operations, else it will not perform. Previously, when we commented these two lines, we didn't have the terminal operation to initiate this stream's processing, but that is why it didn't print system.out.println in peak. But now that's not the case. We have this terminal operation, so this will pick up the intermediate operation and perform its jobs. This is called lazily executed, lazy execution of the intermediate operations. Filter is an intermediate operation. Let's see what it returns. It is returning a stream. Filter is a peak is an intermediate operation. This also will return me a stream. So all the intermediate operations will return me a stream for further processing or pipelining. This is a very popular interesting question about streams. What are the stateful and stateless intermediate operations? Let's see what it is. So stateful operations are nothing but those operations need to process the entire input before it produces a result. Let's see an example. So I am going to sort a list of elements. By the time I need to process the entire list to produce an output. If not, I will not be able to produce a valid sorted result. So this is called stateful operations. So in stateful operations, we need to process the entire input before it produces a result. What will happen to this stateful operations under parallel computation? So since the stateful operation requires the entire input, what will happen when this entire input is in the parallel computation phase? So some pipelines need to require like multiple passes on the data. Why it requires multiple passes on the data? In parallel computation, there is a chance that the input data may split into different cores and each of those input may be processed separately, but we need the entire input for processing this result. So there is a chance that this may require multiple passes on the data, and there is a chance that it needs to buffer the significant data. But all these this is needed only when we are in parallel computation, but not in sequential computation. So just for streams, not an issue. If you are using parallel streams, yes, this may require multiple process. Such stateful operations are distinct and sorted. Also, few of the other examples are skip, take a while, drop while. What are stateless operations? Stateless operations are nothing but they retain no state from the previously seen element, which means there is no need for it to get the entire input before processing the result. These are the stateless operations, and the examples of the stateless operations are filter and map. Each element can be processed independently. What are terminal operations? Terminal operations return the results of the processed stream. So in our we process this stream using the multiple intermediate operations. We processed this stream using the multiple intermediate operations. But where are we getting this result? We are getting this result in this terminal operation, that is the collect. Once the terminal operation is invoked on the stream, the iteration of the stream and any of the chained streams will get started. This is nothing but the example that we saw as a intermediate operations or lazy. So all these operations, the intermediate operations will get invoked only if we have this terminal operation. If this terminal operation is not there, this will not get loaded at all. We'll cover the creation of streams, coding examples, interview questions, and the commonly used intermediate and terminal operations in our upcoming video because this one is lengthy. Thanks for watching crackIT. Please do like, share, and subscribe.